Hi, Mark Anthony here with another episode of The Whole Message. Today is one of our 12-part series that we're doing called Baby Steps to an Amazingly Healthier You. And our first program was all about prayer because that is the core. Your prayer time every single morning is the core to everything you do in life. Second week we did water, teaching how you have to have the right amount of water to drink, what types of water, things like that. And then today is all about exercise. Yes, we get to exercise. And let me tell you, I've got my chart here. Everybody knows my chart if you've seen what I do. I love my big, huge, in-your-face charts. And this week, here's the amazing part. I went to the health club 4 times this week, did over an hour at the gym 4 times this week. And I'm working out on weights. I want some strength training. I need to get some strength training. My weight, which I was well over 300 pounds, started out at 258. This week I weighed in. I'm still exactly at 258 this morning when I weighed in. So everybody's like, well, what kind of a health program is that? You got the same weight 6 weeks later? Well, that's because I'm building muscle. And that my fat is converting into muscle, or getting rid of the fat, adding muscle. In fact, I got a new hole in my belt loop that I was able to hit. So I know I'm losing that waistline. See, a lot of times people don't understand. It's not always about losing weight. A lot of times it's just about converting, losing the fat and gaining the muscle. I mean, I've got these pants here that everybody knows about. I've had them for 30 years. Inside my closet. 30 years I've had these pants, and they're size 36-inch waists, and hopefully within the next 6 or 7 weeks I'm going to be able to fit in those for the first time in 30 years. And praise God, I'm just so thankful that He showed me this health message, because look, 7 years ago I did not know. I mean, I knew the health message. I worked in the hospitals, but God had never impressed upon me, and then through talking to the doctors at the hospitals and stuff, I started learning about the health message, and through the spirit of prophecy and a lot of different things that I studied, it was like, wow, and that's when really, Christ really started changing my life, through my prayer time that I started. Now I'm working on the water. I never did that till, just the last few months. So anyway, get these charts. They're available on the website, or you can call in your orders and that type of thing. You can even order a couple more for your friends and family. Everybody should do this. You got to have a piece of paper chart in your face, one that's going to get in a place that's going to demand your attention, and be consistent. That's the whole thing, is consistency. Do the tracking every single day. Track and then you can look at the trends. That's the only thing this chart is for, is to learn trends. And after you're done with this chart, you flip it over, you got another 6 weeks. When you're done with that, we'll send you another chart. We want to look at consistency and trends. That's how you learn how you're really getting healthy or not. Exercise, by all means, start with 15 minutes a day. A half-hour walk 3 times a week is a good start. That's kind of what I started with. Then my wife and I, we started doing 1-hour walks 3 times a week. And even in the middle of winter, we go to the mall and just do the power walks around the mall. And in fact, when I first started this chart, I started hitting the bike at the health club. I couldn't do 15 minutes without sitting here like this. And now I'm up to an hour, and get through an hour just fine of just on the bike. That's not counting my muscle exercise workout either. So anyway, and I know it takes time, but anything that it's worth it. It really is worth it to invest time in your health, because this is a longevity that is going to last you for the rest of your life. So we got to get to work, because we got a short program and a lot to do. So keep watching, and we'll see you later on in the program. Hi, Mark Anthony here again, and I'm with a very special guest. Melody Perdyman is here today to give us one of her fantastic recipes. What are we doing today?
This is called Boston Bib Pockets.
Okay, I've done pockets before.
Have you? What have you done your pockets with?
Hot pockets. You throw them in the microwave and...
Well, today we're going to use a Boston lettuce, so that's why we call it Boston.
Okay. And I'm here for you, so whatever you want me to do,
You're here for me. Well, what we're going to do on this recipe is we're going to start out by putting the main ingredient in there, which would be our imitation meat base.
Okay.
And some brown rice, which is a good whole grain. So what I have today is something called soy curls, and you're familiar with it.
Yeah, we've used them before.
Love soy. Soy curl is made by Butler Foods. Love this product.
Yeah, Dan Butler.
Dan Butler. I love the people at Butler Foods. The reason why I particularly care for this one is because it's non-GMO and organic. Now that's hydrated right now, but when you buy these, they come crispy. No taste, there's absolutely no flavor, so it's going to take on any flavor we give it.
All right.
And that's what I love about it. Now, you can leave it long, like a fajita type meat right now, or we can dice it. Why don't we dice it a little bit?
I think so for this one. See, you can see the water content here.
Right, and I wanted to leave that in there, and you know why, Mark?
What do you think? I'll do about this much?
About that much.
Okay.
And the reason for me not putting or taking the water out and why I want it hydrated like that, I don't want to use oil.
Oh, you don't want me using oil?
I don't want you using any oil on this.
I was going to use oil in there.
I know, he's always wanting to use oil in there. But you know, for me, we both lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to eliminate that fat.
And I do talk about using less oils. That's a big thing.
Yes. So we're going to put that in there. If you feel like we need a little water, we can put it in.
How about if I just take a little bit of this?
Take a little of the juice off of there. Good.
Because that's going to still have nutrient in it, basically.
It sure does.
Yeah. And then give me some of that taco seasoning. Because I'm going to do a taco one.
Watch me, I won't be able to get it open.
Okay.
Use the mighty hands to get it open.
And as long as you got a good taco seasoning, you just want to look at the labels and make sure that it's not, one of those chemical-based.
And if not, Mark, the components in a taco seasoning are chili powder, cumin, onion, garlic, a little bit of oregano, Mexican oregano.
Yep.
And so basically those are the components in taco seasoning. So they can make that at home. Easy and a lot less expensive.
And this is done.
That is done. But what I want you to do is I want you to add about half of that rice.
To it?
Yep, right into it. There you go. Love that, love that.
Now, a lot of these soy curls, too, you can actually crisp them up so they've got a little browning action on them. And when you crisp them up and get that little searing browning action, it actually really gives it a unique flavor like it's been grilled.
And when you don't use oil and your water sauteing, I usually do it on like a medium heat because we don't want to burn the product because we're using no fat. Put a little bit of your, probably just a couple tablespoons of your onions.
Right in here?
Right in there. Bell pepper.
I'm a finger person.
You're a finger person. I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do.
Wow, look at the color.
I know,
Yeah.
Love that. Let's put in a little red onion. We've already got it diced up there. I want even a little celery. How about a little celery?
You can do anything you want with this. This is just a creative creations.
It is. And then let's put some garlic.
Woo, I need more water. I better get that pitcher of water, huh?
Yeah, let's do this.
And give it a nice saute, huh?
Yes. And you know, I don't like my vegetables limp.
No, these can be crunchy.
I want it.
I was just going to say, I'd rather have it crunchy. But just like that, it's done.
Just like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lettuce. I've got some.
Grab me that bowl right there, the big glass bowl, and I'm going to put this right in here. And then I'm going to start working on another one.
Oh, we're going to have some different flavors, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's the most awesome thing about cooking, and cooking with plant-based. It's so versatile, and you can use just about anything.
And I can be bold right here.
Be bold.
Not even wipe out the pan, but just add some of this to it. And let's try one with it, leaving it whole, just to see how it turns out. And yeah, let's just do it all. Okay, And if we do Asian one, you want to do an Asian one.
Yeah, let's put the rest of the rice in there.
Okay.
Of course, I always like my garlic and my onion, but I also cut up just a little bit of ginger.
Okay, ginger for the Asian. And you've got some Asian spices here. Bragg's.
I do.
Bragg's.
Put some Bragg's liquid aminos.
Oh, let me tell you, that's just like soy sauce, but a lot better for you. And I'm gonna.
And the
pick it
reason
up
for
on
that is because of the fermenting.
Chinese 5-spice.
And you can use any seasoning you want that is more of an Asian flair when you're doing an Asian.
You could actually do Italian style, if you
Oh, sure you could.
Mediterranean style. I'll just put a little bit of curry in there. I don't want to get too carried away today with that.
That'd be good.
I like that spice rack.
I love that spice rack. Folks, if you see Mark on here again by himself and the spice rack is gone, I didn't take it.
I'll know where to look.
Yeah.
This needs some green.
Let's put some celery and the green onion.
I'm going to save some of these for garnishing though on top.
What about a little bit of bell pepper?
Perfect. And just like
Isn't that
that,
beautiful? And we don't want to cook this to where the color's gone out of it.
No,
We just
no.
want to use it as a seasoning. It's so much better for you.
it's almost heat and serve.
It is.
So what are you doing with the bibs? I've used bibs before, but usually just to chop them up for salads.
No, I want to keep it whole. You can even say you got one that's too small. Oh, I like that one.
Ooh,
That was perfect.
yeah.
You're not getting it.
'Cause
That's
you can
mine.
just-
Yes, you can. But what I want to do.
like a taco for the.
It is. So this one here was done more on a Spanish theme because we had the taco seasoning. Look at that, Mark.
And for those of you that like creative names, you don't have to call it a Boston bib pocket. This would be a Boston bib taco with doing the Southwest theme.
Yes. Look here. You can chop up a little bit of the baby bellas. Love baby bellas.
More important than anything, this is actually just a concept on how to create a fast, easy, healthy meal at home.
Well, healthy, we're not using fat. We're not using potato chips. We're not using taco shells that have been dipped in a lot of oil. The sodium content is, oh, it's down so much. I'm putting just a little bit of this tomato I cut up here. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Gosh, I like it.
You've got sour cream. Well, this is yogurt.
That's yogurt because this is not, doesn't have sugar in it. It's unflavored. This is a soy base. You've got coconut, many different bases. How about putting a little bit of salsa in here, Mark?
Okay.
Do you mind? Oh, yeah.
And boom.
Look what we've got there.
got it.
Let's put a little bit of the taco seasoning in it.
That's what I was thinking. Let me taste this.
Love your fork.
Thank you very much.
Probably about a teaspoon.
Melody and I have so much fun in the kitchens. We've done camp meetings together. We've done special events all over the country together, sometimes big events. We'll have to get Melody's information on the end of this segment, so if anybody wants to contact her, you'll be able to do that.
See what you think.
But definitely one of the most creative people in the kitchen you will ever meet.
I love to cook and I love to eat.
Perfect.
You love that? Okay, I am going to put just a little dab right on the top. And a few, maybe some red onion.
Did you know I was going to do
I
that?
knew you were. I knew you were.
Because you want that look, just like that.
Isn't that awesome? That is so beautiful. Folks, there is so little fat in that dish. Just basically what comes from the soybean. That's it. Oh, I guess you want one as pretty as I had, huh?
For the Asian one, yes, let's do one for the Asian one here.
Oh, that's a little big. I'm going to find you a good one.
And this is perfect, just like this. Because you're going to have those textures. You got the bib lettuce, you've got the savory here, you've got the crunch in there that you're looking for, and you certainly have the flavor. Wow.
Not only that, look at, you've got a great complex carbohydrate. You've got your vegetables, you've got your protein. Everybody's always going on about protein, Mark. Do you feel like we need more protein in our diet?
No, less.
Me either.
Yeah, in fact, there's a lot of studies that say people are getting too much protein. It's causing kidney damage and kidney failures now. We've talked about that quite a few times. You want this filled up here? All right, we'll do that.
Fill it up.
And then the nice part is whatever's left over, man, you could just refrigerate it and bring it out the next day and have it for a cold salad type of
Right over the
mentality.
top of your salad.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to go too much here. I'm just gonna
No,
go light
but
it
you know what, Mark?
up. I would just leave that. Boom. That's just like.
Isn't that beautiful? We could take some of this fresh dill and a little bit of mint. How's that sound?
Oh, the aroma. Oh yeah. There you go.
Chop that up.
Jackpot. Melody's got it going on. Mint and dill on top of the Asian one. Who would have thought of that?
Us. And what I want to do is maybe just a little bit of the yogurt right on top. Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, and I've done some episodes as far as making whipped cream toppings and things like that. So there's some other things that we could really incorporate into this.
Just about anything.
Keep it simple, keep it fast, just make it healthy, and you're going to be a lot better off. So what do you think?
I think I'll eat this one and that one, and you can have the other two.
We will. Well, thank you.
Thank you for inviting
Tune in. Make sure you share these with your friends and family, and we will see you next time in the kitchen. Hey, it's an exercise day. So I've got my exercise outfit on and I'm ready to go get a workout. I've even replaced my chair with my exercise ball. A lot of times, you just want to have a different chair, and this can work really good to kind of give you a little workout. I want to show you a couple things on the internet real quick here. I'm just going to go right over here to Google, put in exercise benefits, and we have 500 million pages of web internet to go to. 500 million. Doesn't necessarily mean 500 million sites. Sometimes it might be only 250 million sites, but 500 million sites that talk about the benefits of exercise. And I did one other thing too. I popped in here the spiritual benefits of exercise. I thought, what's going to happen if I put in exercise spiritual benefits? And you still got 38 million possibilities for the exercise spiritual benefits. So kind of interesting, huh? We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to exercise. The bottom line is to keep taking those steps. Get yourself a dog, get yourself a little puppy. Where's my puppy at? And take her out walking. You know, anything to start getting some exercise. Work on stretching, you know, one thing at a time. And you got to continue to do things. We just had a class on exercise at the church, and I'm actually doing this entire 13-part series at the church. And so we've been doing some really in-depth things with exercise. So we're going to get to this in just a second here, but let's watch a couple of these cooking segments, and then we'll be right back. Hi, Mark Anthony here. I'm going to give you the basics when it comes to coleslaw. And I'm just chopping up the cabbage right now. And you can see I'm trying to get some of this as thin as possible here. And this was from another recipe that I was doing. And I saved it just so I could do a coleslaw here. So just like that, we got our cabbage ready to go. And once we have our cabbage done, then you can kind of determine what else you want to put in there volume-wise. So we've got our cabbage. I think that's going to work just fine for the carrots. And let's hit some bell pepper. Actually, you can do nothing but cabbage and carrots. And you would have a perfect coleslaw just with cabbage and carrots. You don't need to put the bell peppers or onions in there, but I'm going to today. Give it some uniqueness. And actually, peppers and onions are actually one of my favorite things to put in a coleslaw. Okay, just like that. Woo, this is a full bowl though. This is a full bowl. It's going to be more of a challenge to try to mix it in there. I'll guarantee you that already. All right, once we kind of know how big our bowl is, then we can determine how much of the dressing we're going to make. Now for dressing, my guess with this much, all depends how dry or how wet you want it to. I'm going to go with that much, and I'll do a little spoonful extra just because. And for the dressing, your two main ingredients is your mayonnaise or vegenaise like I use and sugar. I mean, that is literally it. And you can whip this up and you've got your dressing. One thing people do for coleslaw dressings is they will add vinegar. That's one of the key ingredients is your vinegar, your mayonnaise, and your sugar. You don't need anything else but that. Celery salt will do amazing things, and then some poppy seeds. And what we can do here, instead of the vinegar, I'll just hit it with some lemon juice. And that'll do the vinegar sensation without the vinegar. Okay, so just like that, you've got your coleslaw dressing. Now you're going to want to have this as thick as possible, especially if you're going to have your coleslaw setting for a day or two, that type of thing. Commercially in restaurants, you know, we're going to make sure it's that thick. You can add more lemon juice to it if you want, but for what I'm doing, I'd better make sure that is thick. So, okay. And then here comes the challenging part, trying to mix all this together in this little itty bitty bowl. I really do need a bigger bowl, don't I? I really do. Nice part is when you add the mayonnaise to it, it does start to shrink a little bit. One thing I'd like to do is actually have some red cabbage in here as well. And the red cabbage will come in very useful. The problem is it will bleed. And so if you're going to use red cabbage, I mean, you've got to use it right away. You cannot let it wait a day. You can't even let it wait a couple hours, and it'll start bleeding on you. And it'll have this ugly pink hue to it that you don't want. So, all right. Just like this. And it's looking good. And thank you, Lord, for allowing me to know how to manage a lot of product in a little bowl, because this is a lot of product in a little bowl. But as you can see, it's really a beautiful, light cabbage. And just like that, it's done. So that's what we're talking about. And what a nice way to knock out the cabbage. And you can just put this in a bowl if you want. And you can see it's pretty thick. I mean, there's not a lot of sauce in this one, just because I know that overnight the moisture from the cabbage is going to come out into the actual coleslaw and make it so it's thinner. And then all you got to do is, a lot of times the moisture will actually settle to the bottom. Just give it a little mix and it'll look just like this again. Sometimes you got to drain the moisture at the bottom, that type of thing. So just like that, boom, your cabbage coleslaw is done. That fast, easy. This is Mark Anthony showing you the easy, simple concepts. I didn't even use a recipe for this thing. Just boom, boom, boom. You got your mayonnaise. You can put a little lemon juice in there if you want, some sugar. Celery salt works really good. Your poppy seeds give it a nice presentation. And then with your cabbage, you got your carrots, onions, peppers, and boom, you're done. It's that simple to cook in the kitchen. So we'll see you next time in the kitchen. All right, we're back, and it's all about dedicating time for exercise. And I'll tell you what, there's so many athletes out there that are all vegan, healthy athletes I wanted to share with you. This is one of the things I wanted to share with you real quick, though. This is the Dave Ramsey files that show 76% of wealthy people exercise aerobically 4 days a week. 76%. While only 23% of poor people do this. Now, isn't that interesting? And you can come up with one excuse after another, one justification after another. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you want to become wealthy, do what wealthy people do. If you want to become better at anything, look at what successful people do in that field, and you're going to see those trends. You want to be a good teacher? Study what good teachers do. This is one of the best things we can do. You want to be more Christ-like? Study Christ. You know, this is just one of the things that humans are very able to do. So I love to see what wealthy people are doing, just to see if they're, I love my bouncy ball, just to see what they do. And you'll see trends. It doesn't mean if you start exercising, you're automatically going to be wealthy, okay? It's nothing like that. But it's something to very important to look at. Now, the first thing I did when I started working out, best thing to do is start stretching. Spend that 10, 15 minutes a day just stretching, getting loosened up. That's what that's all about. Number two, start with the walking. You know, get your 15 minutes, an hour a day walking. You know, start with 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week. Get to 5 times a week. If you can do an hour a day, I try to do an hour a day 3 times a week on power walks. So that's always a good thing to do. The 2 things I want to explain to you are really important here is your types of muscles. And you have what they call a slow twitch and a fast twitch. And not to get in too much detail about this, but your slow twitch muscles contract for long periods of time, but with little force, while fast twitch muscles contract quickly, but fatigue rapidly. So this is your two different things. Slow twitch muscles are for endurance, for aerobic exercise. Your slow twitch is what you're using when you're walking and things like that. Your fast twitch muscles is going to be your muscle weight gain, because you can only do so much and you're done. So that's your two, but you want to get both of them. You want to get your strength training as well as your cardio training, because they train different types of muscles. So you're going to train your slow twitch muscles, which is in the same place as your fast twitch muscles, you know, quite often throughout your whole body. But you want to get both. Try to get a healthy plan that works both sets of muscles, slow twitch and fast twitch. Some people rotate back and forth. You can do different things when it comes to different types of muscles, that type of thing. Now, my 7 key factors, and I'll put this on my website for you so you can see it. My 7 key factors about exercise is, number one, studies have shown that exercise helps reverse diabetes, as well as preventing diabetes in the first place. And that's what we really want to talk about, is preventing diabetes. And when you start eating a healthier lifestyle and exercise, you will never have type 2 diabetes. It just doesn't happen. Number 2, osteoporosis actually has a prevention and reversal with osteoporosis. So we're looking at prevention. So number 3, strokes significantly reduced when you're exercising. 4, your arthritis is sometimes non-existent. I mean, people with arthritis, the more they exercise, the better they're going to feel. And plus it prevents arthritis from happening. Number 5, we've got the cardiovascular diseases that are dramatically decreased when you exercise. Number 6 is your cancers, significantly reduced, up to 75% on certain things. And then your obesity, of course you're gonna, be able to lose the obesity. And of course, sharing with you obesity here, by the way, when you strength train muscle burns fat. So you're going to actually be able to lose weight quicker when you build up muscle, because muscle burns fat, even when you're sleeping. So one of the best things I've always told people, don't sit there and spend every minute on the bike, or running, to lose weight. When you build up muscle, you're going to lose weight quicker. So that's one of the biggest things. Let's go to one more clip, and we'll try to sneak back here and talk about a couple quick things, and we'll go from there. But I've got a couple of segments I want to share with you. We got fun cooking shows today. So let's go to those, and we'll be right back. Hi, Mark Anthony here to show you the easy way to make potato wedges. And it is so simple to do. How much work does it take to cut a potato? If you cut the potato in halves like this, it will make them stand on edge better. And that's what you want them to do. You want them to stand on edge, just like that. I'm actually gonna spray this pan real quick here, just to keep anything from sticking. And then we're gonna put these wedges right on here like this. Now, you can also do any type of potato for that matter. Whatever type of potato you want, you're just gonna make sure you just keep cutting in half until you get to the desired size that you want. And that way they'll stay upright. So that easy. I was gonna do a lot of these, but I think I'm just gonna do these 2 right here and show you how this works. And because me and my wife, we don't need a lot anyway. But just like that, you got your potato wedges good to go. Now I'm going to share with you the secret, because you can put these in the oven just like this. They'll come out, they'll be fine. Especially if you're doing no oil, no salt, that type of thing. But here's the trick to making potato wedges fantastic. You spray them. If you got olive oil spray, that's great. But you're going to spray them and then hit it with your seasoning. Now you can use salt and pepper and nothing else, and they'll turn out perfect. You could use just salt. and nothing else, and they'll turn out perfect. Now I have a salt-free herb and garlic that I like to use. And this salt-free herb and garlic gets your lower sodium, but you can see how they're actually sticking to the potato. And that's because you got the oil on there. And if you can just get a little coating of oil on there, you will actually have a much better product. And boom, just like that. And of course you could do, like this is Jamaican jerk rub. So if you wanted to do Jamaican, you could do parsley, you can do paprika if you want different colors on them. But basically, whatever you want to do. Now these are going to go in the oven. We'll put them in there for about 20, 25 minutes. And when they come out, we'll show you what they look like. All right, hey, they're done. They're done. Yeah. Now this did take a little bit longer, actually a lot longer. It was actually about 40 minutes, and reason was because my brain was thinking. A lot of times we'll do these with the cooked potatoes. You know, when I do that big pot of potatoes and I'm dicing them up to freeze them and everything, and I'll use some of them for potato salad, I'll take some of those cooked potatoes, and after they're all dried up, you know, put them in the fridge and then slice them so they're already cooked. And when they're already cooked, then it'll take about 20 minutes instead of 40. So it took about twice the amount of time just because I was using the raw ones instead of the cooked ones. But just like this, I mean, it's that easy to make potato wedges. Boom, 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 they're healthy. You know, potatoes are one of the healthiest foods on the planet. We need to be eating a lot more of them. So this is Mark Anthony sharing with you the simplicity of cooking in the kitchen. And we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Share this with your friends and hit those like buttons, and we'll see you next time. Hi, Mark Anthony here, showing you the easy way to do things in the kitchen. And I've got a really, really easy recipe for you. We're gonna make some tartar sauce. And let me tell you, so many people complicate their tartar sauce. And I wanna show you the easy way to make tartar sauce. And all you gotta do is just take some Vegenaise, however much you wanna use. And we're going to add some sweet pickle relish. So there's what we got. Mayonnaise and pickle relish. And just like that, boom, you have tartar sauce. Now, was that easy or what? Let me tell you, so many people out there are just complicating their tartar sauce with all these crazy ingredients. And this will actually be the best tartar sauce you could ever possibly make. And you know, you can put lemon in there, you can put bell pepper in there, you can put 20 different ingredients, but this right here is literally the best. And I've done this at 100 different restaurants, never ever having a complaint, and 99% of the time you get a compliment. Now, the more things you add to it, the more complaints you're gonna get. That's the way cooking works. You simplify the way you do things. Now, one thing I always do though, is add just a little bit of pickle juice. And what the pickle juice does is it's gonna thin it down, especially for restaurants if you wanna make it pourable, so you can actually pour it when you're portion controlling and everything like that. But that easy, and you've got your pickle relish ready to go. See, look how pourable it is this way. So we're gonna put that right in there. So it all depends how thick you want it as to how much pickle juice. It doesn't take a lot, just like I showed you. And then, here, let me do this real quick here. This is actually some of the dill when I buy dill in the grocery stores, I put it on a plate like this. It will dry within a couple days, and that way you're not throwing it away. And you want to put it on a plate like this before it starts turning black in the refrigerator. And then you can chop it up and do whatever you want with it. So that's always a nice little topping, just like that. And I'll save this. This will actually go in my jars back here. So that easy, you've got tartar sauce made. This is Mark Anthony showing you the intelligent, easy, best flavorful ways to do things in the kitchen. Share these and we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Okay, here I am on my bouncy ball, getting my exercise for the day. Actually going to hit the health club later on. When it comes to spiritual, like I was sharing with you right here, your spiritual exercise, the body is a temple. And nothing says it better than 1 Corinthians 6:19. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own? And, we need to understand that God has given us this body for a purpose, and it's our responsibility to take care of it. And the better you take care of it, that's like a gift to God. God gave us the gift of life. Our gift to Him is what we do with these bodies that He has given us. And not just physically, I'm talking mentally, spiritually. Run it like a race. The Bible says run it like a race. And you have to be positioned and trained to run it like a race. We need this type of mentality that we will stay physically fit for the Lord. And like, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, prayer is one of the most important things. Last week we talked about water, drinking the right amount of water for your hydration. And number 3 is our exercise. So this is the third step in our baby steps to an amazingly healthier you. Go to the website. We've got plenty of resources for you. Mail in contributions. We are a self-funded ministry that really sustains ourselves on your contributions. And, a lot of people contribute to a lot of ministries, and amen to that. But it's always the health ministry that seems to get neglected, and most people realize that. All you have to do is look at the church, and the health ministry seems to always be the one that gets neglected. So we're trying to get this movement going, and we've been doing a very good job for many years. But we do thank you and appreciate the contributions that you send in, and of course all our information is everywhere. So, but exercise your rights, exercise your life, and get closer to God because of the way you live your life. And I don't know if do we have another segment, and we will catch you in just a little bit. Hi, Mark Anthony here to show you how to make some vegan fish sticks. Mock fish sticks without the fish, whatever you want to call it, this is the way to do it. And right here I have some pressed tofu. It's already been pressed down so that the moisture is taken out of it. And then we're just going to cut these babies in half. Now most of these, you get different sizes of tofus. So I'm just going to show you how to do them like this. That's about the right thickness too, by the way. And so that's the way you would do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can do some slices. Let's say you're going to do fish sticks, and you can do some fish sticks like this. Try to get 5 out of there, like that. So anyway, however you want to make the tofu is the way to do that. Over here, I'm going to have a breading station. This is my little breading station here. Flour, this is just almond milk, and then I'm going to do my breadcrumbs right here. Now for my breadcrumbs, I've already done my seasoned breadcrumbs. These are made at home. That's my homemade bread and just turned right into some seasoned breadcrumbs. So we're going to put a little bit of this right here in the food processor because I have some of those seaweed little packets. I get these at the Costco's and Asian food stores, and I actually eat them just like this. They're really good for the thyroids. Anyone with thyroid problems, take those and don't, there you go, make sure you don't get that packet in there with this. I'm going to try to give this a little ripping right now. You cannot do this by hand. It just does not quite get the processing you need. So we're just going to pulse this a little bit. Because all I want to do is bust up all that dried seaweed. And you don't even need to use the seaweed. Me, it's just a nutritional factor. Okay, and once you've got it like that, now we're going to start our breading process. And if you've seen any of my shows on the television, the 1-hour shows, I've shown you how to do breading. There is a trick to it. One hand is wet, the other hand is dry. Always keep this hand wet, always keep this hand dry. And nobody knows this. I don't know how many even professionals I've seen on television, and they have no idea how to do this. So this is your wet, then you pick it up out of the flour with your dry hand. And then from your dry hand, it goes into your mixture here, and then your dry hand comes back over here and does the breading on it. So wet, dry, and I'm gonna have to give this a little spray here. And just like that, boom. And that's what we're gonna do. Okay, which hand is which? Dry, dry, okay. And just to let you know, the theory behind this breading is the flour sticks to the item, helps the milk stick to the tofu, and then the milk allows the breading to stick to it. So it's kind of just a process that needs to be done in order for breading to happen. So, okay, just like that. And we're gonna put this in the oven. I think it's gonna take about a half hour on about 350, 375. And then we'll come back to show you the finished product. Okay, they're ready. And these have actually been in the timer here. They've been in the oven for 20 minutes on each side. I actually went 20 minutes, then flipped it over. That's why I don't like to give exact temperatures when it comes to cooking, because You know, a lot of times different ovens are different, you know, might be a little hotter, not as hot, so you gotta really pay attention to them. But look at that, just like that, our vegan fish sticks are done. And the nice part about this is, I just got a little toasted on them. They were actually toasting more on the back side than they were the front side. But let me tell you, this is the psychological victory when it comes to doing a vegan type of fish stick, because you've got the lemon, you've got the coleslaw, you got the tartar sauce, and when you put the whole package together, then it looks like a psychological, makes you think, tastes like fish. So that's the whole trick to it. And actually, it does taste just like a fish stick. So that's the way it works. Get yourself the appearance. You know, and I see a lot of these people that are doing cooking shows, and I'm just horrified at either the visual that they do not present or the actual flavor. I've tried some of these things, they're just horrible. So at least here, you're gonna get both. You're gonna get something that tastes fantastic and looks presentable. So enjoy this one, because you're gonna love it. It's so fast and easy. You can freeze those, by the way. Pull them out as you need them. So this is Mark Anthony, and we will see you next time in the kitchen. Hey, just wanted to share with you my newest cookbook. This is the kind of book that will really be a blessing to your library at home. And I took a lot of care making this cookbook. In fact, I do autograph them. I always try to do that. One thing I did with the quality of this book was make it a hardcover. It's over 400 pages, over 250 recipes, plus I put a stitched binding on it so it will stay open on the kitchen table. This is one thing you want to look for, is those good stitched bindings that will stay open and they're not going to mess up over time. And this book is filled with so many great recipes and concepts, because it'll actually give you the concept how to make hummus. And then here's recipe, 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 recipe. The concept how to make bruschetta. And then recipe, 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 recipe. So it's one of those things that just makes it so much easier to learn how to function in the kitchen. And that's really what I want to do, is I want to teach people the basics. I want to teach people how to do things easier in the kitchen, to make your life easier. And more importantly than that, I want to get you healthy. And in this book, there's actually some areas in the front here, let me share this with you, that have 12 different concepts on things that you need to do to get healthy. And one of them is go vegan, of course. Here's one about reducing oil and a whole bunch of information about that. And biggest meal for breakfast, I talk about that. Plenty of water, which is what I'm doing right now, trying to get plenty of water. Rest, so there's some really good concepts in the front. Plus I also share some of my station simplicity, how to design your oatmeal station, how to design your refrigerator into a salad bar. So this is a real powerful education tool to teach you how to function in the kitchen so much better. And these run $50 and shipping's included. We're not even charging for shipping or anything. And it is such a fantastic book. It's available on my website, or you can just call the number on the screen. And we should usually ship out within a day or two. So it's just one of those books that helps support our ministry. And of course, you can always call the number on the screen, even if you just want to contribute to our ministry. Because let me tell you, this is one of those ministries, we don't have a bunch of sponsors. You're not watching 35 commercials in order to get one recipe. And we sustain ourselves basically on your contributions and a couple of the books that I have available. I have another one too here, Vegan Simplicity. We've got a part 2 to this one coming out real soon. And this one too has not as many pictures, but it's packed with recipes. This one's just packed with recipes, and that one's half the price. So just wanted to share those with you. Both fantastic books. My website, chefmarkanthony.com, or call the number on the screen, and we will get those right out to you. So enjoy the rest of the program, and we'll see you later on. All right, that's it for today's program. Don't forget, I have my website, chefmarkanthony.com. Lots of information on that website that you can get. We also have the Facebook and YouTube, and share this. Share these messages with your friends and your family so that they too can start getting healthy. Nothing is better than having the entire family on board when you start transforming your life into a healthier lifestyle. And like I said, this is not something that's a 7-day plan. This is not a 21-day plan. Even though those things can have success, that's temporary success. We need to transform your life. That's why I do a 12-week chart. And when you're done, we're going to do it again. You know, this is what it's about, is continuing to learning how to get healthier in the kitchen, in everything in life. You know, I teach money management classes. I teach time management classes. I teach so many different classes. It's amazing. And the more you watch, the more you're going to learn. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time with The Whole Message.